I know. Normally I'm disheveled and bedraggled in these commentaries, but I'm out on the West Coast for a speaking engagement, and I have to be relatively respectable, hence this unaccustomed sartorial elegance. Two things. First, it's absolutely outrageous that the government of South Africa didn't arrest the president of Sudan, al-Bashir, put him in shackles and send him off to The Hague, to the International Criminal Court, where he's been indicted for genocide and crimes against humanity and war crimes. It's so unfortunate that he managed to escape the country before he was arrested, and it was clearly complicity on the part of the South African government, which is most disconcerting, because the South African government is a signatory to the International Criminal Court. They have ratified the International Criminal Court statute, and one would have expected them to fulfill the obligation of arresting al-Bashir. He is one of the most venal human beings on the planet, who is responsible for the death, for the murders of tens of thousands of Sudanese citizens in Darfur. But this is just the tip of the iceberg, because it would appear that a number of African countries, up to 34 African countries, intend to dissociate themselves from the International Criminal Court, withdraw, establish their own criminal court in Africa, which will be a judicial farce, and at the same time undermine the extraordinary efforts to achieve international human rights. What a sorry saga. The efforts to keep al-Bashir in the country and to arrest him were initiated by the Southern Africa Litigation Center, SALC, one of those excellent NGOs that pursue social justice with such courage and such spirit. There are many of them on the African continent. Another one is called KELIN, the Kenyan Ethical Legal Issues Network. And KELIN is a small NGO in Kenya which takes on large issues, and right now they are confronting the president of Kenya, who issued a directive a couple of months ago, which may have been well-intentioned but was entirely damaging. It had to do with HIV. He issued the directive to all of the county directors of medical services in Kenya, telling them to identify the children in school who were HIV positive, to identify the guardians, to identify the pregnant women who are HIV positive, to identify the breastfeeding women who are HIV positive, put it all together in a data bank. You can only imagine the possibilities of the invasion of privacy and the violation of constitutional rights and the possibilities of discrimination and stigmatization that engenders. And all alone, KELIN is taking on the president's directive. They won a hearing in July. It is most admirable. You wonder why the UN agencies haven't joined them, since it's such an obvious violation of human rights. There'll be some manufactured rationalization, there always is. But KELIN is doing what a principled NGO should do, as did SALC. That was last week. I'm Stephen Lewis.